Hi, good evening. How was your day? I hope you can take a deep breath and rest now. I created a small story for you, hoping this video might help you relax, even just a little. If you can, get cozy in bed. Gently close your eyes and let the flicker of the candle and the story reach your heart. If you can quietly receive the story, that would make me very happy. My English might not be perfect, but I hope the warmth of this story still brings you peace and calm. Lily and the Secret Garden Door. Deep, deep in the forest, on a soft bed of straw, lived a tiny fairy girl, all by herself. She had shimmering golden braids and gentle, thoughtful eyes. Her name was Lily, but Lily had no friends. In the morning, she floated gently through the sky. In the afternoon, she lay on the soft grass gazing at the clouds. She listened quietly to the secret dreams whispered by the flowers. And so, day after day, Lily spent her time all alone. One morning, just like always, Lily was drifting through the morning light. On the breeze came the scent of grass and the soft sound of flowers singing somewhere far away. A kind wind tickled her wings, and Lily spun around with joy. But then, whoosh! A sudden gust of wind rushed past. Startled, Lily gasped. The curtain of flowers lifted high into the air. And when the wind finally stopped, something truly strange appeared before Lily's eyes. At the base of a great tree was a tiny green door, just about as tall as Lily herself. It was hidden beneath vines and flowers, as if the whole forest had been keeping a secret it didn't want anyone to find. "What is this?" Lily whispered. Lily's heart was pounding as she slowly stepped closer to the little door. Knock, knock. She tapped on it gently with her tiny hand. But nothing, not a sound. Lily paused for a moment to think. Then, very carefully, she reached out to the doorknob. She turned the cool golden handle ever so softly. Creak! Beyond the door was a tunnel, a long path that should have been dark, but somehow it wasn't. Tiny insects floated through the air, growing softly as they danced. Like little lanterns, they lit the way ahead for Lily. "Wow," she whispered. As Lily looked closer, she began to notice little mushrooms popping up here and there along the growing tunnel. There were red-capped mushrooms, white ones, and even some with stripes. And when she looked more carefully, they all had tiny little faces. They were chatting away, their voices soft and cheerful. "A visitor! Shh, she's looking this way." Is she new? Look at her pretty wings. Some giggled, some whispered. The mushrooms seemed quite happy to see Lily there. With her heart still fluttering, Lily drifted onward, a little nervous but full of wonder. After a while, she saw another door at the end of the tunnel. It was round, a warm-looking door made of wood, and from behind it came a gentle breeze and a sweet scent of flowers. When Lily nervously pushed the door open, soft light spilled into the air, wrapping gently around her. Before her eyes stretched a wide, sunlit forest. On the soft grass grew tiny flowers everywhere. Beside a sparkling stream that trickled by, a squirrel lay curled up, fast asleep in the warm afternoon sun. The trees of the forest swayed gently in the soft golden light. The sky glowed a bright violet blue, and everything sparkled as if touched by magic. Drifting through that glowing light were dozens of tiny, fluttering shapes. Fairies. Some flew high through the sky, others chattered on flower petals, and a few splashed their feet in the stream. The forest echoed with cheerful voices, full of laughter and joy. Lily slowed her steps and stopped. She caught her breath. "Where am I?" she whispered. "It's so beautiful." She floated down softly onto the grass. Her eyes wide as she looked all around, at the forest she had never seen before. All around her, fairies were playing, sharing sweets, and smiling happily. And then, one fairy turned in the air and gently floated down beside Lily. He had a head full of curly brown hair and kind eyes that looked softly into Lily's. Lily felt a little nervous, but she took a deep breath and decided to speak. "Hello," Lily said quietly. The fairy boy smiled warmly and said, "Nice to meet you. You found the door, didn't you?" Lily nodded, and the boy's eyes lit up with joy. "This is a secret garden," he said. "It's a magical place deep in the forest, where only those who find the door can enter." A soft, warm feeling bloomed in Lily's chest. That day, Lily experienced so many firsts. For the first time, she held hands with others and danced in a circle. They danced and floated, like flower petals in the air, until laughter bubbled up from deep inside her. For the first time, she learned what it felt like to laugh together. Just having someone nearby, meeting eyes, and sharing a smile. Lily never knew it could feel so wonderful. They shared sweets, tucked flowers into her hair, and called her name again and again. "Lily, over here. Lily, come join us." Each time someone called her, a little light bloomed in her heart. One after another, warm and bright. Before she even noticed, Lily was flying through the air with the biggest smile on her face. And then, for the very first time, Lily made her first friends. It felt like a warm light filling her heart, chasing away a little worries she didn't even know were there. Before she knew it, the sky had turned to evening. Pink and purple slowly blended together, spreading across the sky like a soft white canvas above the forest. One star began to shine, the very first star of the night. "I guess it's time to go home," Lily whispered as she looked up at the sky. And just then, a small quiet sadness rose up gently inside her chest. "I wish I could have played a little longer. I wish I could have talked with everyone a little more." As that thought filled her heart, a tiny tear slipped from Lily's eye. Just then, "It's going to be okay," a sweet voice spoke from right beside her. Lily looked up and saw a fairy girl with soft feathery wings holding her hand ever so gently. "The door will appear again. I'm sure of it. If you truly want to come back, the forest will remember." Lily looked at the fairy through her teary eyes. "When that day comes, let's play together again," she said softly. The other fairies all called out with smiles, waving their tiny hands. Lily wiped the tip of her nose, then gave a gentle smile and nodded. In the little house inside a tree deep in the forest, Lily sat quietly on her soft bed of straw, welcoming the peaceful night. Outside the window, a big round moon floated in the sky, and the twinkling stars around it looked as if they were smiling, just a little. Lily gently placed her hands together and closed her eyes. She whispered, "I hope I can see that door again someday." As the word left her lips, her heart gave a small, quiet ache. But then a warm little light softly bloomed inside her. The smiles of everyone, the moments filled with laughter, the gentle voices calling her name. All of it glowed softly inside Lily, and together they became a tiny light that gently lit the quiet night. Lily smiled as she gazed up at the stars. She felt a little lonely, but not really, because now the secret garden was already inside her heart. And that was enough. That's the end of tonight's story. Thank you for listening. Sweet dreams. Good night.